at the end of the day, they play a little bit similar in the fact that they have to rely on the kind of mid range that they hold with their options, aerial options. And I'm not entirely sure how that's gonna work out. But we have game number one, and this is winner's bracket, and this is whoever wins gets the top 16.
Yeah, that's right. This is the top 16 ticket. And before we go any further, I've already been corrected by my very good friend Furlong. He's telling me that MLF, he's a veteran player from Puebla. So, let me add that to my mental notes for the future. But just like you were mentioning earlier, Yellow, he's got the characters to deal with Adrian. So maybe we can see the mean. Oh,
At
okay.
some point, perhaps we may be able to see that Min Min. One thing for sure, it's the fact that either Min Min or Steve, people haven't had the character matchup against this player offline as you may need. So we haven't seen many Pikachu's against Steve's, and not even talking about nationally speaking, but there haven't been so many VODs with them included internationally. So of course it's got a barrier of knowledge that he has to overcome. And currently, AdrianSP taking off the first chance to taking off the first stock, he's already holding a decent percent against Pikachu. But one thing that he's lacking, it's the time to mine anything, and he's just holding that diamond. He is not able to craft anything, and he's not able to mine anything as well. So if he lacks the resources to find something just as iron to take the first option, such as the anvil or the minecart, then he's gonna have to struggle against Pikachu's ruthlessness.
Yeah, that's right. We were talking about earlier about how Pikachu, he's a character designed to play really aggressively, to play on your opponent's face. And just like you mentioned it, the Steve really benefits from having a small break between interactions to try and mine for better resources. And I think that Yellow, he's super aware of that, and he's quickly closed this percentage gap, so he might as well take this first game. But now he's off stage, and just like that, Adrian recognizes that he's got a chance to mine for materials, and he takes it.
Ooh, but sadly, he's not being able to make anything of those mine materials. He's already on his last stock, and this is a time where he has to make it shine. He has to put the diamond against the sun and let it rip. We are having diamond materials, but I don't know how optimal or how effective they're gonna be at this late point in the game. He's currently losing a lot of neutral interactions against this yellow package that is Pikachu, and as weird as it may sound, okay, that was a great backer coming from them. As weird as this may sound, it's gonna be a really tough situation, tough spot for the crowd, because it's either Pikachu or Steve that you're rooting for. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
They're
that's
not
right.
quite accepted characters in this game.
That is like rooting. I don't know. Let's imagine that if you're a Rocky fan and there was a Rocky movie where it's the guy from the fourth one and the guy from the fifth one had to fight. Who are you gonna root for? I don't know. They're both bad guys, so it's a losing matchup either or.
Okay, Adrian already making moves, already making a statement, but sadly he's not gonna make
Boing.
them any further. He lacked the characters to do so. Sadly, we're back into 2007, where Twitter only let you type 140, and Adrian loses the first game. Man.
Oof. Despite losing this first game, it was a pretty close game. I think that they are both pretty aware of what their strategy is, what they have to do, when they have to approach, when they shouldn't approach. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get another third game on this segment of the stream, and looks like we are going to Battlefield, maybe?
That's a weird situation. Now, of course, we're not gonna go back to Battlefield. We're facing and chasing and going all the way to the I'm losing my mind right now. What's it called? It's a Pokemon League. Nova Pokemon League?
Yeah.
No,
No,
it's not Nova.
Nova,
It's
no.
it's Kalos.
It's Kalos. Yeah, that's
Ah,
right.
for
Kalos.
for a second, I just forgot the name. It's I'm just feeling the fact that we're getting rid on many stages of this stage. So no, many places of this stage. I'm really excited about that. So yeah, we're going back to Kalos.
Uh-oh.
This is gonna
Uh-oh.
be Adrian's counter pick. This is a really tough situation. But what I think that Adrian is thinking on his mind that this is how gonna the counter pick work is the fact that it's large, it's great, it's perfect. So Steve has a lot of room to breathe and just being able to mine or even craft. But because at the beginning of the match of the last game, we saw that he was just relying on the wooden utensils that he currently held at that point. He was not being able to craft anything whatsoever.
And something that I... Oh, okay.
What happened?
Okay.
It just
Yeah,
exploded.
he just exploded with that Junke. I don't remember the name of the...
Embil.
The Emil, yeah, that's right. And something that a lot of people don't give credit to Steve Mains is that I think that Steve, he's a resource management character. You gotta get
Yes.
really good at managing your resources, knowing when you should use the crafting table to squeeze as much as you can out of this character.
Once again, Adrian being faced against the corner. It's gonna be the back around of the stage. That's gonna take this first stock. He's already at 0, but Yellow, on the other hand, already at 81%, just holding and racking a lot more of damage. It's a dead percentage situation, but it's up to Adrian to find any kind of opening just to take that second stock. And sadly, this is where he's trying to struggle. And that's not gonna be the case. It's gonna up to like a forwarder and a stock taken from this local that is AdrianSP, the Longman.
And he's got a pretty good advantage against Yellow, not only stock wise, but percentage wise. He's not that high up, so Yellow, he's gonna have to go for maybe a huge
It's just-
gamble to try and get this second stock of Adrian.
Yeah, he's just gambling quite a lot with that UV though. Like quite a lot. just trying to overcome whatever the neutral is just putting. Yellow constantly uses that UV to rush down Adrian to not give him any kind of read, but on the other hand, Adrian, who is currently already at the stock lead, he doesn't have to overcommit to anything. All he has to do is just wait for any kind of opportunity that Yellow gives him by overly rushing Adrian and just hold any kind of movement, aerial, lingering hitbox, or anything. And that's gonna be a solid 2 stocks, eh?
Yeah, that's right. Super solid play on the side of Adrian. And maybe the deciding factor was the stage. He had a lot of room to work around, with a lot of room to try and get away, trying to get these opportunities to mine some for some resources. So I wouldn't be surprised if Yellow opts for a much smaller stage, and it's going to be final destination for Yellow. The Adrian is not going to be able to run as much.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that Adrian is currently facing a platformless stage is not only to... Okay, he's able to overextend himself with those combos. He's got a little bit more of room to use the up tilt and to work around Yellow.
Ooh.
But on the other hand, he's not gonna have a lot of options during the neutral. He's just gonna have to, meaning talking about Adrian, he's just gonna have to overly rely on any kind of window that Yellow brings by just giving himself too much on the neutral interactions. And it's already at 102, at 0. It's gonna be the first stock taken from Adrian, and this is Steve is making moves, brother.
Yeah, and that was a light 0 to dead. He only got hit by a thunderbolt, I think, on the side of Yellow. So really good way of starting this first game on the side of Adrian. But maybe Yellow, he's losing his coolness, he's losing his patience, and you don't want to start
Losing too
playing
much,
that recklessly against Steve Main.
At the end of the day, what I'm currently being able to witness is the fact that Adrian is just playing bait and punish. He's not having any kind of overly aggressive perception of the neutral. He's just waiting for Yellow to commit to anything, and he's looking already so flustered. Of course, you're already facing a solid 3 stock, and you still have your opponent at 30%. I would be in that situation if I were him. But this is Pikachu you're talking about. He's got
Ooh.
a lot of room to breathe. He's got a lot of room to make that comeback happen. And Adrian, on the other hand, who's already on his second stock, it still has a chance to play as passively aggressively as he's been doing so far.
Oh, but now I think that Adrian, he's pretty much playing with his foot right now. Unless Yellow manages to turn things around, get the second stock of Adrian. But we've seen that Adrian, he likes to building this rat trap against Yellow. And I wouldn't blame him, he's got a pretty good lead against Yellow. So he could go for maybe even the clip options, maybe getting a little cheeky with what he can do to get this last stock of Yellow.
I certainly agree up to a point because I mean, even though Adrian is currently having all the lead against Yellow and he's already holding all the way to that percent, one thing for sure is that Adrian is not having the best materials on hand. He finally gets a diamond, but it's gonna be up to Yellow to let him get that diamond, and it's gonna be the stock, and it's gonna be the game, and it's gonna be the steep main that makes it all the way to top 16. Yellow, it's out of the winners bracket. He's not gonna face any